What if the energy blockages you experience aren't accidental, but intentionally created? What if feeling stuck, unmotivated, or constantly battling negativity isn't just internal, but the result of external manipulation? There's a hidden force, a system actively working against your well-being by manipulating your energetic field, and there's a forbidden technique to bypass these imposed limitations and instantly remove energy blockages. The concept of energy blockages isn't new. Ancient traditions have long recognized the flow of vital energy within the body. Prana in Ayurveda, Kai in traditional Chinese medicine, are just two examples of how ancient and respected systems of knowledge have understood the intricate connection between our energy flow, emotional well-being, and physical health. But these traditions often focus on internal imbalances, whereas Gnostic teachings offer a darker, more unsettling perspective. The Nag Hammadi scriptures speak of the archons, unseen entities that manipulate humanity by distorting our perception and trapping us in a false reality, feeding off our negative emotions and creating a state of spiritual amnesia. Modern interpretations of these ancient concepts, such as those put forth by figures like David Icke, suggest that these manipulative forces are still at play today, controlling humanity through media manipulation, fear-based programming, and the intentional suppression of knowledge. The forbidden technique is a form of suppressed wisdom, kept hidden from the masses because of its power to disrupt established power structures. Most people are completely unaware of the external forces contributing to their energy blockages, which is why they find themselves struggling with feelings of powerlessness, anxiety, depression, physical ailments, and an inability to manifest their desires. We're often unaware that deliberate manipulation of our energy fields is happening, and that we've been programmed to believe our problems are solely our own. This constant exposure to negativity and limiting beliefs leads to chronic stress, a weakened immune system, and a sense of being stuck in a rut. The system is designed to keep you in the dark, but there is a way to bypass these external influences and reclaim your energetic sovereignty through a specific technique. By learning this forbidden technique, you can unlock your true potential, allowing you to manifest your desires, experience greater joy and freedom, and live a more fulfilling life. In this video, we will explore the hidden origins of energy blockages and reveal the forbidden technique to instantly remove them. We'll examine the role of unseen forces, delve into the mechanics of the technique, and provide practical exercises to help you reclaim your energetic power. By the end of this video, you'll understand the true nature of your reality and gain the ability to break free from the limitations imposed upon you. So, let's dive in and uncover the secrets to unlocking your energetic potential. Now, consider the Gnostic perspective, a worldview that challenges the very fabric of our perceived reality. What if unseen forces, known as archons, are actively manipulating our thoughts and emotions, keeping us trapped in a cycle of suffering and ignorance? These aren't physical beings lurking in the shadows, but rather psychic entities that feed on our negative energy, subtly influencing our decisions and beliefs. The archons operate by creating a false reality, a distorted mirror reflecting our fears and insecurities back at us. They weave intricate webs of lies and deception, making it difficult to distinguish truth from falsehood. They thrive on division, constantly sowing seeds of discord and animosity between individuals and groups. Think about it. How often do you see people arguing over trivial matters, blinded by their own egos and unable to see the bigger picture? This is precisely the kind of chaos the archons cultivate. They are the puppet masters behind the scenes, pulling the strings of our emotions and manipulating us into acting against our own best interests. Is it possible that these archons are behind societal programming and mass manipulation? Societal programming is the archon's primary tool, a subtle but powerful mechanism for controlling the masses. Consider the education system, which often prioritizes conformity and obedience over critical thinking and creativity. From a young age, we are taught to accept authority without question, to follow the rules, and to fit into the mold. What happens to those who dare to challenge the status quo, to think outside the box? They are often ridiculed, ostracized, or even punished. The system is designed to suppress individuality and discourage independent thought. And what about the media, which bombards us with a constant stream of negative news, fear-mongering propaganda, and shallow entertainment? This relentless barrage of information overloads our senses, numbs our minds, and makes us more susceptible to manipulation. Isn't it strange how the media always seems to focus on the negative, highlighting the worst aspects of humanity while ignoring the good? This creates a distorted perception of reality, leading to anxiety, depression, and a sense of hopelessness. Cultural norms also play a significant role in perpetuating energy blockages. Think about the rigid gender roles that dictate how men and women should behave, limiting their freedom and potential. Or the racial stereotypes that perpetuate prejudice and discrimination, creating deep divisions within society. And what about religious dogmas that demand blind faith and discourage questioning, stifling spiritual growth and personal exploration? These cultural norms are often so deeply ingrained that we don't even realize they are there, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without our conscious awareness. But here's what most people miss. These aren't accidental. Throughout history, individuals who have dared to challenge the status quo have been persecuted, silenced, or even killed. Galileo, for example, was condemned by the Catholic Church for his heretical views on the solar system. Giordano Bruno was burned at the stake for his unorthodox philosophical beliefs, and countless other visionaries, scientists, and thinkers have been suppressed for questioning established dogma. Why is it that those in power so often try to silence those who speak the truth? Because the truth is a threat to their control. Knowledge is power, and those who seek to control others will do everything in their power to suppress it. Consider mass formation psychosis, a phenomenon described by Dr. Matthias Desmet, where a large segment of the population loses its ability to think critically and becomes blindly obedient to authority. Sound familiar? This is a prime example of how societal programming can lead to irrational behavior and groupthink, making people more susceptible to manipulation and control. How can we identify these energy blockages in our own lives? Start by paying attention to your thoughts and emotions. Do you find yourself constantly feeling anxious, stressed, or overwhelmed? Do you struggle with feelings of self-doubt, inadequacy, or worthlessness? Do you experience chronic fatigue, physical pain, or other unexplained symptoms? These can all be indicators of underlying energy blockages. The key is to become aware of these patterns and to start questioning their validity. Are these thoughts and emotions truly your own, or are they the result of external programming? Are you living your life according to your own values and desires, or are you simply conforming to the expectations of others? Challenge those limiting beliefs and dismantle those false narratives. Use affirmations, visualization, and meditation to reprogram your subconscious mind. Question authority and think for yourself. Don't blindly accept what you are told. Do your own research, seek out alternative perspectives, and come to your own conclusions. Reclaim your energetic sovereignty by setting boundaries, protecting your energy field, and connecting with your intuition. Learn to say no to things that drain your energy. Surround yourself with positive influences and avoid toxic people and environments. Practice grounding techniques, such as spending time in nature, to strengthen your connection to the earth and protect yourself from negative energy. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on a path of awakening. Share your knowledge, support each other, and create a community of conscious awareness. Remember, you are not alone. There are others who see what you see, who feel what you feel, and who are committed to creating a better world. By working together, we can break free from the Archon's control and create a reality based on love, truth, and freedom. So, we've explored the Gnostic perspective on unseen forces, examined the mechanisms of societal programming, and learned how to identify and challenge energy blockages. But what if the forbidden technique isn't some complex ritual or esoteric practice? What if it's something far simpler, yet far more profound? What if the forbidden technique is nothing more than awareness itself? The realization that these limitations are, in fact, an illusion. It's not about doing, but about seeing the truth about reality. Awareness is the first step to removing energy blockages. By becoming aware of the archon's tactics and the societal programming that influences us, we can begin to disidentify with their control. We can start to see through the lies and deceptions, recognizing the false narratives for what they are. The forbidden technique involves specific practices that enhance awareness and empower individuals to create their own reality. We will explore techniques like meditation, visualization, and affirmation in more detail in the next section. But how do we cultivate this awareness and use it to break free from the archon's control? How do we cultivate this awareness and use it to break free from the archon's control? The answer, though seemingly simple, holds the key to unlocking your true potential: conscious creation. What if the ability to shape your reality isn't a mystical power reserved for gurus and ascended masters, but an innate ability you've possessed all along? We are all constantly creating our reality, whether we realize it or not. Every thought, every emotion, every belief acts as a brushstroke on the canvas of our lives. Think of your mind as a fertile garden. Every thought is a seed. Nurturing positive, empowering thoughts will yield a bountiful harvest of joy, abundance, and fulfillment. Conversely, dwelling on negative, limiting thoughts will cultivate a garden choked with weeds of fear, anxiety, and self-doubt. The key is to become the conscious gardener of your mind, carefully selecting the seeds you plant and tending to them with unwavering intention. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about understanding the fundamental mechanics of reality creation. Every time you focus your attention on something, you are giving it energy, bringing it closer to manifestation. Are you consciously choosing where to direct your energy, or are you allowing external forces to dictate your focus? The power to choose is always yours, even if it doesn't always feel that way. Reality, therefore, is not a fixed, immutable entity, but a malleable construct shaped by our collective consciousness. Imagine the universe as a vast ocean of potential, a swirling vortex of infinite possibilities. Our beliefs and expectations act as magnets, attracting certain experiences and repelling others. If you believe that the world is a dangerous and hostile place, you will inevitably attract experiences that confirm this belief, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Conversely, if you believe that the world is abundant and benevolent, you will attract experiences that reflect this belief. This isn't wishful thinking. It's quantum physics in action. The observer effect demonstrates that the act of observing a phenomenon changes its behavior. In other words, our consciousness directly influences the reality we experience. The archons understand this principle intimately. Their power relies on our unconscious creation, our ignorance of this fundamental principle. They manipulate the narrative, knowing that if we buy into their lies, we empower their matrix. They feed on our fear, our doubt, and our negativity, using our own energy to fuel their control. This is why it's so crucial to become aware of their tactics and to consciously choose to disengage from their manipulations. Now, let's delve into the specific techniques for cultivating awareness and enhancing conscious creation. 3 core skills stand out: meditation, visualization, and affirmation. These aren't just feel-good practices. They are powerful tools for reprogramming your subconscious mind and reclaiming your energetic sovereignty. They are the foundational practices used by countless successful individuals throughout history to achieve their goals and manifest their dreams. But here's what most people miss. These techniques are not about manipulating reality to get what you want. They are about aligning yourself with the natural flow of the universe and becoming a conscious co-creator of your destiny. They are not about ego-driven desires. They are about soul-aligned intentions. Are you ready to unlock your innate creative potential and consciously shape your reality? Meditation, in particular, allows us to quiet the incessant chatter of the mind and observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. Imagine your mind as a turbulent ocean, constantly bombarded by waves of thoughts and emotions. Meditation is like learning to navigate that ocean, to find the stillness beneath the surface. It's a tool to detach from the constant stream of thoughts and connect with the deeper self, the source of creation. By quieting the mind, we create space for new possibilities to emerge. We become more receptive to intuition, to guidance from our higher self, and to the subtle energies that surround us. A consistent meditation practice allows you to observe the thoughts and emotions that drive your behaviors. You begin to see the patterns. Those patterns can be reprogrammed. So, how do you start a meditation practice? It's simpler than you might think. Find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably without being disturbed. Close your eyes and focus your attention on your breath. Notice the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, gently redirect your attention back to your breath. Don't judge yourself for having wandering thoughts. It's a natural part of the process. Start with just 5 minutes a day and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. There are no rules here. Experiment with different techniques, such as guided meditations or mindfulness exercises, to find what resonates with you. The key is consistency. Even a few minutes of daily meditation can have a profound impact on your awareness and your ability to consciously create your reality. Think of it as training your mind to focus, to become a laser beam of intention rather than a scattered floodlight. Visualization is another powerful tool for conscious creation. It allows us to create mental images of our desired reality, programming our subconscious mind for success. Visualizing is about much more than just seeing. It's about feeling. Engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you touch? The more vivid and detailed your visualization, the more powerful it will be. Visualize not just the outcome, but the feelings associated with that outcome to amplify the effect. Imagine yourself already living your desired reality. How does it feel to be healthy, abundant, and fulfilled? What are you doing? Who are you with? What are you grateful for? The more you can immerse yourself in this feeling, the more quickly you will attract it into your life. But here's the key. Visualization is not about escaping reality. It's about creating a blueprint for the future. It's about aligning your subconscious mind with your conscious intentions and directing your energy towards the manifestation of your dreams. When creating effective visualizations, start by getting clear on your goals. What do you truly desire? What are your core values? What kind of life do you want to create? Once you have a clear vision, create a mental movie that depicts you already living that life. Use sensory details to make the visualization as vivid and real as possible. Engage your emotions. How does it feel to achieve your goals? Feel the joy, the gratitude, the excitement, and the love. Practice your visualizations regularly, ideally every day. The more you visualize, the more you will impress your subconscious mind, and the more quickly you will manifest your desires. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Visualization is a skill that requires practice and patience. Trust the process and keep visualizing with unwavering intention. Remember, the universe is always listening, always responding to your thoughts and emotions. Affirmations are equally important because they allow us to reprogram our limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. Imagine your subconscious mind as a computer program. Your beliefs are the code that determines how the program runs. If you have limiting beliefs, such as "I'm not good enough" or "I don't deserve to be happy," your subconscious mind will run a program that sabotages your success and keeps you stuck in a cycle of suffering. Affirmations are a way to consciously override the negative self-talk and instill positive beliefs. They are like rewriting the code of your subconscious mind, creating a new program that supports your goals and empowers you to achieve your dreams. But here's the catch. Affirmations only work if you truly believe them. Simply repeating positive statements without feeling them will have little to no effect. The key is to choose affirmations that resonate with your core values and that evoke a feeling of excitement and possibility. To craft powerful affirmations, start by identifying your limiting beliefs. What are the negative thoughts that keep you stuck? What are the stories you tell yourself about why you can't achieve your goals? Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, create affirmations that counter them. For example, if you believe, "I'm not good enough," you could affirm, "I am worthy of love and success." Make your affirmations specific and measurable. Instead of saying, "I am successful," say, "I am generating specific amount of income per month." Use present tense. Affirmations are most effective when stated as if they are already true. Instead of saying, "I will be happy," say, "I am happy." Add emotion. Feel the truth of your affirmations. Engage your senses. Visualize yourself already living your affirmations. Repeat your affirmations regularly, ideally every day. Write them down, say them aloud, and visualize them in your mind's eye. The more you repeat your affirmations with feeling, the more quickly you will reprogram your subconscious mind. Now, how can we apply these techniques to dismantle specific energy blockages in your life? The answer is simple. Target the root cause. For example, if you struggle with anxiety, use meditation to calm your mind and observe the thoughts and emotions that trigger your anxiety. Use visualization to imagine yourself feeling calm, confident, and at peace. Use affirmations to reprogram your limiting beliefs about your ability to handle stress. If you struggle with fear, use visualization to confront your fears in a safe and controlled environment. Imagine yourself facing your fears with courage and confidence. Use affirmations to reprogram your limiting beliefs about your ability to overcome challenges. And if you struggle with self-doubt, use meditation to connect with your inner wisdom and intuition. Use visualization to see yourself succeeding and achieving your goals. Use affirmations to reprogram your limiting beliefs about your worth and potential. It's like clearing a clogged pipe. You need to address what's creating the blockage. To address specific challenges, start by identifying the underlying energy blockage. What is the root cause of your suffering? Once you've identified the blockage, choose the techniques that resonate most with you. Experiment with different approaches and find what works best for you. Be patient and persistent. Dismantling energy blockages is a process, not an event. It takes time, effort, and dedication to reprogram your subconscious mind and reclaim your energetic sovereignty. Celebrate your progress along the way. Acknowledge your successes and learn from your setbacks. Remember, you are not alone. There are others who are also on a path of awakening. Connect with like-minded individuals and support each other on your journey. The transformative potential of reclaiming your power as a conscious creator is immense. It leads to increased freedom, joy, and fulfillment. Reclaiming your power means you can choose a new experience, breaking free from the negative loops. It means living a life aligned with your soul's purpose and contributing to the collective evolution of consciousness. It means becoming a master of your own destiny. So, here's my challenge to you. Commit to practicing these techniques for 30 days and observe the changes in your life. Start a journal to document your experiences, your insights, and your progress. See what shifts and what you begin to notice. Be open to the possibility that you are far more powerful than you ever imagined. Be willing to challenge your limiting beliefs and to step into your full potential as a conscious creator. The truth is, the power to change your life has been within you all along. Are you ready to claim it? We've defined the forbidden technique as conscious creation, explored tools for cultivating awareness, and learned how to apply these techniques to dismantle energy blockages. But what if personal desire manifestation is merely a small aspect of something bigger? Is there a shadow side? What needs to be understood before fully embracing this power? We're just scratching the surface of conscious creation. But what happens when everyone becomes aware of their power to create? What are the implications for society and for the future of humanity? But what happens when everyone becomes aware of their power to create? Can we truly handle the responsibility that comes with wielding such a force? What if conscious creation, like any powerful tool, has a shadow side. This leads us to the often overlooked aspect of manifestation, unintended consequences. Imagine a world where everyone is actively shaping their reality. Sounds idyllic, doesn't it? But here's the thing. Even well-intentioned actions can have unforeseen negative effects, rippling outwards in ways we can't always predict. Creating abundance for yourself, for example, might inadvertently lead to scarcity for others if not approached with awareness and compassion. Think of it like a zero-sum game, where one person's gain is another's loss. This isn't about discouraging you from manifesting your desires. It's about urging you to consider the broader implications of your actions and to approach creation with a sense of responsibility. How can you ensure that your creations benefit not only yourself, but also the world around you? History is replete with examples of well-intentioned actions that led to disastrous outcomes due to a lack of foresight or understanding of complex systems. Consider the introduction of the cane toad to Australia. It was intended to control the cane beetle, a pest that was devastating sugar cane crops. However, the cane toad proved to be ineffective at controlling the beetle and instead became a major pest itself, wreaking havoc on the Australian ecosystem. Or take the case of the Aral Sea, once the fourth largest lake in the world. In the 1960s, the Soviet Union diverted the rivers that fed the Aral Sea in an attempt to irrigate the desert and grow rice, melons, and cotton. This led to the desiccation of the Aral Sea, turning it into a toxic wasteland and causing widespread environmental and economic damage. These examples serve as stark reminders that even the best intentions can backfire if we don't consider the potential consequences of our actions, and if we fail to understand the interconnectedness of all things. So, are you considering your long-term impact? And it's not just external actions that can have unintended consequences. Our unconscious biases and limiting beliefs can also sabotage our creations, manifesting unwanted realities despite our best efforts. Believing you're unworthy of love, for example, might manifest as failed relationships, even if you consciously desire a loving partnership. This is why self-awareness and shadow work are so crucial. Shadow work involves exploring the hidden, repressed aspects of your personality, the parts of yourself that you may not be proud of or even aware of. By bringing these shadows into the light, you can disarm their power and prevent them from sabotaging your creations. What hidden beliefs are lurking beneath the surface, influencing your reality without your knowledge? The concept of karmic repercussions adds another layer of complexity. Our actions, both conscious and unconscious, have consequences that ripple through time and space, affecting not only ourselves, but also others. If you create a product that harms the environment to make yourself a profit, what impact will that have in the short and long term? What kind of energy are you putting out into the world? The Kybalion teaches us that every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. This is not necessarily about punishment, it's about learning and growth. Imagine karma as a cosmic feedback mechanism guiding us towards greater alignment with the natural laws of the universe. It's not about a judgmental God handing out rewards and punishments. It's about the inherent consequences of our choices. Ultimately, it comes down to taking responsibility for our creations, both positive and negative. If you create a negative experience, acknowledge your role in it and learn from it, rather than blaming others. This isn't about self-flagellation. It's about taking ownership of your power and using it to create a better future. The key is to approach creation with humility, awareness, and a deep sense of responsibility. Are you ready to embrace the full spectrum of creation, the light and the shadow, and to use your power wisely? This brings us to an even more profound question. What are the ethics of manifestation? Is it ethical to use conscious creation to influence others, even with good intentions? The question of free will looms large here. Is it ever justifiable to interfere with another person's path, even if you believe you're helping them? Imagine you have the power to influence someone's choices or behavior. Is it ethical to use that power, even if you believe it's for their own good? What if you could subtly nudge a friend towards a healthier lifestyle or steer a loved one away from a destructive relationship? While your intentions might be noble, you're still potentially infringing on their free will. The very act of influencing someone, even with the best of intentions, can be a form of manipulation, subtly undermining their ability to make their own choices and learn from their own experiences. The ethical line becomes even blurrier when we consider the potential for self-deception. How can you be sure that your good intentions aren't simply a reflection of your own ego, your own desire to control or fix others? This is where the concept of divine will comes into play. Divine will can be understood as a guiding force that aligns with the highest good of all beings, a universal intelligence that knows what's best for everyone involved. Aligning with divine will require surrendering our personal agendas and trusting in the wisdom of the universe. It means letting go of our ego-driven desires and allowing something greater to guide our actions. This doesn't mean becoming passive or relinquishing our power. It means using our power in a way that is aligned with the greater good, with compassion, and with respect for the free will of others. How can you discern the difference between your ego's desires and the callings of your soul? Consider the potential for misusing conscious creation for selfish gain or destructive purposes. Using your power to create wealth at the expense of others or to harm your enemies might seem tempting in the short term, but it ultimately undermines your own well-being and contributes to the collective suffering of the world. True power comes with responsibility, and abusing it can have severe consequences. The archons, for example, misuse their power to manipulate and control humanity, feeding on our negative emotions and perpetuating a cycle of suffering. But here's the thing: their power relies on our unconscious consent, our ignorance of our own creative potential. By becoming aware of our power and using it ethically, we can dismantle their control and create a more harmonious world. What if the key to liberation lies not in fighting the darkness, but in amplifying the light? And what about working for personal gain? Is it ethical to manifest a job promotion or a better relationship? The distinction lies in the intention and the impact. Creating abundance for oneself is not inherently unethical, as long as it doesn't involve exploiting others or causing harm. It's about aligning your desires with your values and creating a win-win scenario for everyone involved. Manifesting a job promotion, for example, can benefit not only yourself, but also your company and your colleagues. It's about using your talents and skills to contribute to the greater good and to create value for others. But if your desire for a promotion is driven by ego and a desire to dominate others, then it becomes problematic. Finally, let's consider the concept of soul contracts. According to some spiritual traditions, we have pre-agreed upon experiences and challenges that are necessary for our spiritual growth. Attempting to override these contracts can lead to unexpected consequences or delays in our evolution. Imagine trying to skip a grade in school without mastering the fundamentals. You might succeed in the short term, but you'll eventually encounter difficulties down the road. Similarly, attempting to bypass the challenges that are meant to help you grow can lead to unexpected obstacles and setbacks. This isn't about fatalism or surrendering to a predetermined destiny. It's about trusting the wisdom of your soul and allowing yourself to learn the lessons that are necessary for your evolution. Are you willing to embrace the challenges that come your way, knowing that they are ultimately serving your highest good? So, how do we navigate these ethical considerations and ensure that we're using our creative power responsibly? What safeguards can we put in place to prevent unintended consequences and to align with divine will? The key lies in intention, alignment, and humility. Setting clear intentions, aligning with divine will, and remaining humble in the face of our creative power are essential for navigating the ethical complexities of manifestation. Cultivating compassion and empathy is equally important. Recognizing that our actions affect everyone and everything around us can help us to make more responsible choices. How can you create a positive ripple effect in the world, rather than contributing to negativity and division? Practicing loving-kindness meditation and other compassion-based practices can cultivate a sense of interconnectedness, helping us to see ourselves in others and to act with greater empathy. Loving-kindness meditation involves sending feelings of love, compassion, and well-being to ourselves, to our loved ones, to our enemies, and to all beings. By cultivating these positive emotions, we can transform our own energy field and create a more harmonious world around us. It's like tuning a radio to a higher frequency, attracting more positive and uplifting experiences into our lives. But here's the thing: compassion is not just a feeling, it's a call to action. It's about taking concrete steps to alleviate suffering and to create a more just and equitable world. Discernment plays a crucial role in distinguishing between ego-driven desires and authentic soul callings. Discernment helps you determine what aligns with your soul's purpose and what is simply a fleeting whim of the ego. Paying attention to your intuition and seeking guidance from trusted sources can help you to develop discernment. What does your gut tell you? What feels right in your heart? These are important questions to ask yourself when making decisions about your life. But here's the catch: discernment is not always easy. The ego can be very persuasive, disguising its desires as noble intentions. This is why it's so important to cultivate self-awareness and to be honest with yourself about your motivations. Practicing energetic hygiene is also essential. Protecting our energy field from negative influences and maintaining a high vibration can help us to stay aligned with our creative power. How can you protect your energy from negativity? Using techniques such as smudging, salt baths, and visualization can cleanse and protect our energy field. Smudging involves burning herbs such as sage or Palo Santo to purify the energy of a space or a person. Salt baths can help to draw out negative energy and toxins from the body. And visualization can be used to create a protective shield around our energy field, deflecting negative influences. What are the risks, and how do we mitigate them? Grounding practices are essential for staying connected to the earth and avoiding getting lost in fantasy or delusion. Grounding involves connecting with the earth's energy, which can help to stabilize our emotions and bring us back to reality. Spending time in nature, walking barefoot on the grass, or simply visualizing roots growing from your feet into the earth can all be effective grounding techniques. The key is to stay present in the moment and to avoid getting swept away by our thoughts and emotions. It's also important to recognize and avoid potential pitfalls, such as ego inflation, spiritual bypassing, and the misuse of power. Ego inflation occurs when we become overly identified with our spiritual abilities, believing that we are somehow superior to others. Spiritual bypassing involves using spiritual concepts to avoid dealing with difficult emotions or unresolved issues. And the misuse of power occurs when we use our creative abilities to manipulate or control others. These are all common traps on the spiritual path, and it's important to be aware of them so that we can avoid them. So, we've explored the shadow side of creation, examined the ethical considerations of manifestation, and learned practical guidelines for navigating our creative power responsibly. Conscious creation is not just an individual endeavor, but a collective responsibility, and the future of humanity depends on our ability to use this power wisely. But here's a new perspective. What if our individual creative power is amplified exponentially when we come together with a shared intention? How might conscious collaboration help create a more harmonious Earth? In the next section, we will explore the potential for creating a more harmonious and sustainable world through conscious collaboration and collective intention. How can we harness the power of conscious creation to build a better future for ourselves and for generations to come? What if the real, forbidden technique lies not in individual manifestation, but in collective creation? What if the key to unlocking a better future lies not just within individual action, but within the combined power of collective intention? The truth is, When individuals unite with a shared purpose, their creative potential isn't simply added together, it's multiplied exponentially. Just as a choir produces a richer, more resonant sound than a single voice, collective intention creates a more powerful reality. But how can this amplified creative power be harnessed to address the monumental challenges facing our world? Consider this. Global issues like climate change, poverty, and social injustice often seem insurmountable when viewed through an individual lens. However, when countless people focus their collective intention on creating a sustainable future, they can trigger transformative shifts in policy, technology, and individual behavior. Think about the ripple effect. If enough people consciously choose to reduce their carbon footprint, support eco-friendly businesses, and advocate for sustainable policies, it can create a powerful wave of change that sweeps across the globe. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's the application of a fundamental principle of consciousness. But here's the thing. For collective creation to be truly effective, something more than mere numbers is needed. Energetic coherence is key. When individuals are aligned in their thoughts, emotions, and intentions, their collective power reaches its peak. Imagine a group of people meditating together with a unified intention, perhaps to heal the planet, or to promote peace versus a group where everyone is mentally scattered and preoccupied with their own personal concerns. The former group generates a focused, amplified energy field that can have a tangible impact on the world, while the latter group produces a weak, diffuse energy field with little discernible effect. This coherence isn't just a nice idea, it's a measurable phenomenon. So, how can we cultivate this alignment and energetic coherence in our collective endeavors? This brings us to the concept of the global brain, or noosphere, a term coined by the French philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He envisioned it as a sphere of collective consciousness enveloping the Earth, connecting all of humanity through our shared thoughts, intentions, and experiences. Think of the Internet as a crude, early version of this global brain, where information and ideas can spread rapidly across the planet, influencing collective consciousness on a massive scale. But what if our thoughts and intentions, like radio waves, are constantly broadcasting into this noosphere, influencing the entire planet in ways we don't fully understand? What responsibility do we have to ensure that our thoughts are aligned with the highest good of all? Now, let's turn our attention to historical examples. Has collective intention ever truly worked on a grand scale? The civil rights movement in the United States serves as a compelling case study. For decades, African Americans endured systemic oppression and discrimination. Yet, through unwavering collective intention focused on achieving equality and justice, they sparked a profound social and political transformation. Consider the Montgomery bus boycott of 19,551,956. After Rosa Parks' courageous act of defiance, refusing to give up her seat to a white passenger, the black community of Montgomery, Alabama, united in a coordinated boycott of the city's buses. For 381 days, they walked, carpooled, and organized alternative transportation, enduring hardship and harassment, but steadfastly refusing to support a system of segregation. This collective act of resistance, fueled by a shared vision of equality, ultimately led to the Supreme Court ruling that segregation on buses was unconstitutional, marking a pivotal victory in the civil rights movement. But what if the success of the civil rights movement wasn't just about political change, but also about a shift in collective consciousness, a dismantling of deeply ingrained beliefs about race and equality? Social movements and grassroots organizations often harness this power of collective intention to drive positive change. The environmental movement, for instance, has raised global awareness about climate change and inspired countless individuals to take action to protect the planet. From local recycling initiatives to international climate accords, these efforts are all fueled by a collective intention to create a more sustainable future. However, not all attempts at collective creation are successful. Why do some initiatives thrive while others falter? Consider the Tower of Babel, a cautionary tale from the book of Genesis. According to the story, humanity, united by a single language and a shared ambition, embarked on the construction of a tower that would reach the heavens. However, God, fearing their growing power, confounded their language, causing them to misunderstand each other and ultimately abandon the project. While this story may be interpreted in various ways, it highlights the dangers of disunity and lack of communication in collective endeavors. A modern parallel might be found in the Occupy movement, which, despite raising awareness about economic inequality, ultimately failed to achieve its goals due to a lack of clear objectives, internal divisions, and a cohesive strategy. What if the key to successful collective creation lies not just in shared intention, but also in effective communication, collaboration, and a well-defined plan of action? The media plays a crucial role in shaping collective consciousness, for better or for worse. It can be used to promote peace, understanding, and cooperation, or to spread fear, division, and hatred. Consider how media coverage of conflicts can either exacerbate tensions or promote reconciliation, depending on the framing and the narratives that are emphasized. Propaganda, on the other hand, deliberately manipulates collective consciousness to serve specific agendas, often by exploiting emotions and spreading misinformation. But here's the thing. Are we passively consuming the narratives presented by the media, or are we actively shaping our own understanding of the world? The power of collective prayer or meditation to heal individuals, communities, and even the planet has been documented in numerous studies, though it's important to acknowledge the limitations and biases inherent in such research. For example, studies have shown that mass meditation can reduce crime rates and promote peace in conflict zones. In 1993, a study published in the Journal of Crime and Justice found that a 2-month-long transcendental meditation program in Washington, D.C., involving several thousand participants, resulted in a 24% reduction in crime rates. While the mechanisms underlying these effects are not fully understood, some scientists suggest that collective consciousness can influence the quantum field, creating a more harmonious and coherent reality. However, what about examples that seem well-intentioned but ultimately prove disastrous? Consider the Great Leap Forward in China during the late 1950s and early 1960s. Mao Zedong, driven by a vision of rapid industrialization and agricultural collectivization, launched a series of ambitious policies that were intended to transform China into a communist utopia. However, these policies, which included forced collectivization of agriculture and the promotion of backyard steel furnaces, led to widespread famine and economic collapse, resulting in the deaths of tens of millions of people. This tragic example serves as a stark reminder that even well-intentioned collective endeavors can have catastrophic consequences if they are based on flawed assumptions, unrealistic expectations, and a disregard for individual needs and freedoms. So, how can we ensure that our collective intentions are guided by wisdom, compassion, and a deep understanding of the complexities of the world? So, how can you participate in collective creation initiatives and contribute to building a better world? The first step is to clarify your intentions. Before joining a cause or supporting an organization, take a moment to examine your motivations and ensure they are aligned with your core values. Are you driven by a genuine desire to help others, or are you seeking personal recognition or validation? The more clear, concise, and consciously created your intentions, the better. The next step is to connect with like-minded individuals and organizations that resonate with your values. Online platforms, social media groups, and local community events can be valuable resources for finding groups that are working to create positive change. Look for organizations that have a clear mission, a proven track record, and a culture of collaboration and respect. And remember, effective communication and collaboration are essential for successful collective creation. Practice active listening empathy, and compromise to build consensus and resolve conflicts. But here's the catch. Disagreements and obstacles are inevitable in any collective endeavor. Set realistic goals, delegate tasks, and celebrate small victories to maintain momentum and prevent burnout. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Remember, collective creation is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires sustained effort, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to the shared vision. Even in the face of adversity, maintaining a positive attitude is critical. Practice gratitude, self-care, and mindfulness to cultivate resilience and maintain your energy levels. Focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems, and celebrate progress rather than perfection. Instead of getting discouraged by setbacks, focus on what you've learned and how you can improve in the future. And never underestimate the power of laughter and joy to uplift your spirits and strengthen your connections with others. So, are you ready to embrace the challenges and rewards of collective creation, knowing that your efforts can make a meaningful difference in the world? We've explored the power of collective intention, examined case studies in collective creation, and learned practical steps for joining forces for good. But what does the future hold? What if humanity can awaken to its collective creative potential? Imagine a future where humanity has awakened to its collective creative potential and is working together to create a more harmonious and sustainable world. A world where everyone has access to clean water, nutritious food, safe shelter, quality education, and comprehensive healthcare. A world where conflicts are resolved through dialogue and diplomacy, and where all beings are treated with respect and compassion. This vision may seem utopian, but it is within our reach if we harness the power of conscious coevolution. What if humanity and the planet evolve together in a mutually beneficial relationship? This conscious coevolution could lead to the development of technologies that restore the environment and enhance human well-being, rather than exploiting resources and causing harm. Imagine renewable energy systems that power our cities without polluting the air or water, sustainable agricultural practices that nourish the soil and produce abundant harvests, and innovative building designs that create healthy and energy-efficient homes. This isn't just about technological innovation. It's about shifting our mindset and our values. Ultimately, conscious creation is not just about manifesting individual desires. It's about contributing to the evolution of consciousness itself, expanding our awareness and compassion to encompass all beings, moving beyond ego-centered desires to create a world where everyone can thrive, a world where people are connected, kind, and respectful. This journey is a shift in consciousness, and you have the potential to contribute. But what are the limitations? Even with the best intentions and coordinated efforts, unforeseen challenges and unintended consequences can arise. The complexity of global systems and the diversity of human perspectives mean that predicting outcomes with certainty is impossible. What if our attempts to solve one problem inadvertently create new ones? And what about the ethical considerations of influencing collective consciousness? Is it possible to manipulate or control collective intention for selfish purposes, undermining the free will of others? The next great obstacle may be overcoming deeply ingrained patterns of competition, division, and self-interest. Shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance and fostering a sense of shared responsibility for the well-being of the planet will require a profound transformation in human consciousness. So, what role will you play in creating this future? How can you contribute your unique gifts and talents to the collective effort of building a better world for all? But here's the most important question. What if the ultimate forbidden technique is simply recognizing that we already possess the power to create the world we desire together? As we draw to a close on this exploration of energy blockages, unseen forces, and the forbidden technique of awareness, it's important to acknowledge the winding path we've traveled. We've journeyed through ancient Gnostic texts, delved into the mechanics of societal programming, and examined the profound potential of conscious creation. Returning to our initial question, what if energy blockages are intentionally created and sustained? We now have a far clearer understanding of the subtle yet pervasive forces at play. We've seen how unseen influences, often referred to as archons in Gnostic teachings, can subtly manipulate our beliefs and emotions, trapping us in cycles of fear, anxiety, and self-doubt. This manipulation is amplified by societal programming, which reinforces limiting beliefs through education, media, and cultural norms. The truth is, these forces rely on our unconscious participation, our willingness to accept their narratives as reality. But here's the thing. The forbidden technique isn't a magical ritual or a secret formula. It's awareness. It is consciously recognizing the power we each hold to shape our reality, to dismantle these blockages, and to create a life of freedom, clarity, and purpose. It's about consciously choosing what beliefs to accept, consciously directing our attention, and consciously creating the world we wish to inhabit. However, wielding this creative power comes with significant ethical considerations. It's not just about manifesting individual desires. It's about ensuring our creations are aligned with compassion, integrity, and the greater good. Just as a skilled surgeon uses their knowledge to heal, not to harm, we must use our creative abilities responsibly, mindful of the impact we have on ourselves, others, and the planet. Think of the potential for misuse. What if someone were to use these techniques to manipulate others or to pursue selfish ambitions? The key is to align our intentions with a higher purpose, to create not just for ourselves, but for the benefit of all. Moreover, the power of conscious creation is amplified when we unite with aligned intentions. By joining together with like-minded individuals, we can amplify our individual power to effect change, co-creating a new reality based on collaboration, respect, and abundance. The key here is energetic coherence. Imagine a group of people meditating together, focused on a shared vision of peace and sustainability, compared to a group with scattered intentions. The former creates a powerful, unified energy field that can influence the world around them. This is not just wishful thinking. It's a principle that is supported by both ancient wisdom and modern science. But what if individual intention and collective intention were always at odds with each other? This understanding of energy blockages and conscious creation is a vital component of our ongoing evolution, both individually and as a species. It's a path to self-mastery, empowering us to break free from limiting beliefs, reclaim our inherent power, and live more authentic, fulfilling lives. This reinforces the fundamental truth that we are all interconnected, and our choices ripple outwards, affecting everyone and everything around us. This freedom requires we remain mindful of the impact we have on the world around us. By transforming ourselves, we can also contribute to the elevation of global consciousness, creating a more harmonious and sustainable future for all. So, how do you start transforming yourself? Remember, you have the ability to dismantle these constructed barriers and manifest the life that is truly yours. Even if there will be challenges along the way, know that each step empowers you to learn and become stronger. And as you navigate this journey of conscious creation, trust your inner wisdom to guide you on the correct path. If doubts or anxieties arise, remember that you are not alone, and that the power to create a better world lies within you, waiting to be awakened. The transformative power to create the change you wish to see is within you. What new realities can you now begin to construct? Begin by experimenting with visualization, share your journey with others, and envision the possibilities that open up when more people embrace conscious creation. Just imagine the possibilities that could open up if everyone started to actively shape their reality. If we could forge a path to a world built on collaboration, respect, and abundance for all. What if we could consciously co-evolve with our planet? If this message resonated with you, subscribe for more content to help you break free from societal programming and reclaim your creative power. Begin to apply these techniques and share your personal journey with us in the comments below. If you're ready to take it to the next level, then click the link in the description to learn more about taking this power back. You are more powerful than you have been led to believe. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. Until next time, go forth and create.